Hey guys, today I'm out doing a little bit of work in the garden, so I figured I would give you a bit of a tour. It's been a couple weeks, I think, since I did one, so yeah, let's see how everything is getting along. These guys are a little bit slow going. These are the ones that I replaced, like I mentioned in my last video. Those tomatoes are the ones that I started from seed really late, and then these are the ones that I ended up replacing. Not a huge difference in size, but for whatever reason, these, I don't know if it's from the wood chips, the old chicken bedding maybe was a little bit too warm for them still or what, but they got a little stunted when I transplanted them. But they've perked back up now and they look really good, so hopefully I get an okay canning tomato crop this year. Excuse me. This bed, still haven't done anything with it. I've stopped obviously harvesting asparagus for the last few weeks and letting them fern out now to feed those rhizomes. I haven't weeded in there. It's just one of those things. Haven't had time to get around to. Been raining, all that fun stuff. So, but the little kales in front and zinnias, that little tomato I plunked in there is doing okay. That's that little cluster of planters that I have. This is the garlic, obviously doing really well still. I've been harvesting all the scapes. For those of you that don't know, hardneck garlic sends out little flower shoots like this called scapes, and you have to break them off in order to get the plant to focus its energy on producing bigger bulbs of garlic instead of producing seed, obviously. So yeah, they're super yummy. All my marigolds and zinnias are starting to really bloom, which is really swell. In this bed, while I'm over here, everything is just, like I said, everything's just crazy. These cabbages, I keep trimming off the lower leaves because they're huge. I totally underestimated how big these cabbages would get. I don't know if that's harmful to the plant or stunts it or what, but keep trimming it, otherwise everything else around it just is going to get smothered. Whereas these little cabbages here, these, I can't remember what they're called for the life of me. I have to look. I think I wrote it down. But they're an early variety and they're really compact, which is really nice, but the flea beetles are just, they're still attacking them like crazy. I just can't get over how bad the flea beetles are this year. And I would have thought by now, especially what is the 7th of July, they would have kind of finished their life cycle, but they haven't yet. So I don't know. But anyways, I have a handful of those cabbages. They got tons of holes in them from the flea beetles, but they're still edible. I'll make them into kraut or something like that. But yeah, like I said, Cracker Jacks, all the marigolds are really starting to bush out and start to bloom, which is so nice. All the dill, I didn't thin any of my dill. I'm gonna have to start pulling it and using it, but lots and lots of that. Lots of, these are those Chiaga beets, the candy cane beets, Swiss chard, all that kind of stuff, calendula hiding in there. Yeah, these onion sets that I planted here, some of them are huge already, which is super cool. Didn't expect them to be that big already, but yeah. See, like I said, nice. Like, look at the size comparison of that one versus that one. And this one's been trimmed way back. I think I've cut probably 4 huge leaves off of it in the last couple of days and today. But yeah, huge size difference. Definitely plant some more of those next year or a similar variety. And yeah, starting to train my winter squash up, which is really nice. So far it's working really well. Oh yeah, over here. This is my wild potato patch. I planted them and I haven't touched them since. I still haven't gotten in there and weeded them. It's like a jungle in there, but I don't seem to mind. They're starting to flower. These are my pumpkins, like I mentioned last time. This is a Howden one. I think it's a larger one. And then this is my little sugar pumpkin I started from seed. That one I bought at the nursery, but they're doing really well. This one's still pretty small, but maybe I'll get something out of it. I'm hoping to trellis them up on my fence here. This one's so far so good, but we'll see if that changes once it gets some giant fruit on it. We'll see. Got some string along my pickling cucumber trellis here, and those are starting to really take off. All in here, I don't know if you can see, those again, like I mentioned last time, are my those onions that I started from seed, whereas everything else in the garden is they are sets that I planted. So really happy with how these little onions are doing, especially because they're totally shaded by the giant Brussels sprouts all along here. So yeah. And oh yeah, on the end of these beds, I'm terrible for putting the plant tags in where I plant stuff. Like these, I have I think 3 or 4 different kinds of marigolds, like smaller marigolds, not including the Cracker Jacks that are in the middle of the bed, sorry. But these ones, I don't know if they're Durangos or they're Bonanzas or what, but they are, look at them, they're just full of blossoms. That's only one plant. It's beautiful. All the parsley on the ends taken off really well. Some nasturtiums taken off. Oh yeah, that's my little random tomato that I plunked in there. It's doing okay. Plant tie, or my new plant tie, I guess I should say. This is what I, this and a little bit of heavy duty plastic plant tie is what I replaced everything with. But yeah, these are my butternut squash, and they're a little bit behind the other ones, as you can see. These ones are my spaghetti squash, and those ones are my buttercup squash. They're huge, and these ones are quite a bit smaller, but that's okay. They'll catch up. These two here are those bush variety spaghetti squash. First year for those. Excited to see how much they produce. That's why I have these in this bed, and then these spaghetti squash in this bed. Did I say spaghetti squash? I can't remember. Anyways, I didn't want to have these spaghetti squash in with my regular vining spaghetti squash because I wanted to be able to determine how much came from each variety. So yeah, be a nice little experiment. This side of the bed, lots of carrots, all calendula, dill, all that fun stuff, marigolds. Still rocking on with my peppers, as some of you guys might have heard me talk about last time or on Instagram. I'm just so blown away that I have peppers blossoming and starting to produce tiny fruit. I'm so excited about that. These two, I can't remember. 2, I think. No, 3, sorry. Those are my zucchini. These 2 on the end here are my patty pans. My calendula is starting to form little blossoms. My basil's not doing great. I think basil doesn't like being transplanted, and it's kind of stunted it when I transplanted it, but oh well. Got lots in the greenhouse. Yeah, let's see if I can get a shot of this here. That's my biggest pepper I have. And there's my thumb. I'm just so excited. Even if I only get that one pepper, it'll be worth it. Just so pumped. So I get my camera to refocus here. But yeah, lots of excitement in the garden. Best year so far. Year 8. Best one yet. These, like I said, are those tomatoes. The ones that sorry, my camera's a lot of focus again. By camera, I mean phone. Not that fancy. They're doing really well. They're really healthy little plants. They're just a little bit smaller. I gave them all a bit of a haircut. I don't usually prune the suckers on my determinate tomato varieties. I usually let them just do their thing, except for the bottom suckers and the bottom branches, just to keep obviously the greenery up off of the ground, to keep them dry, good airflow, keep them healthy. These are the other variety of Romas that I replaced. There's 2 different kinds that I bought. Like this is Roma VF, it says on that tag. And then, sorry, these ones over there are Roma 2. Similar varieties, but yeah, a little bit different. But these ones are already starting to make some fruit. These ones didn't stunt though, like those ones in that bed did. These ones, I transplanted them. They've been healthy since I put them in there, which is nice. But yeah, already got a bit of fruit on those. This one here has got I plunked a gigantic zinnia in the back of that pot because it's huge. Figured I could accommodate that. My bed along the fence looks really good. All of these are all my sweet peas, my sunflowers, my green beans, my pole green beans, and a couple of little nasturtiums I plunked in there. I mentioned in my last one that some of these weren't, along that side of the fence is one variety, and then along this south side of the fence is another variety of green bean. This variety of green bean didn't germinate quite as well, but it's starting to fill out pretty good, so I'm excited about that. But like I mentioned before, I wasn't sure if it was because the crows were picking out my seeds or what, but man, I gotta weed these pathways. The mulch pathways are super neat, and they obviously cut down on the work that I have to do, but still have to weed them all the time. And yeah, south side of the south bed, marigolds all doing really well, obviously, because they're marigolds and they're wonderful. All my curly kales are doing really well. I've been harvesting lots of those. Every few days I have been. I just need to get a little bit more diligent about it, but I will come out and pick a little bit and fill the dehydrator, and just a little bit at a time, so that I can get lots of greens dehydrated for the pantry for the winter, because last year I did not do nearly enough. So yeah, some more calendula, some more peppers, more onion sets. This is lemon basil. There's 2 plants, and I think, yeah, there's one over there. I thought I had 4 of them. Anyways, I need to cut the flowers off those, but they're just not doing superb. I don't know what their deal is. This here was where my spinach was, and then over there I had some a mesclun mix of lettuce. I pulled those out, and I've put my rutabagas in here. It's really late for rutabagas, but they really like to finish off into the cold, so crows. Hopefully I'll get some little bit of a crop out of those, and yeah. More peppers. This, I pulled out all this lettuce and gave it to the chickens, or the last bit of it, and it was just full of slugs already, so oh well, is what it is. This is calendula that when I thinned everything last time, I transplanted calendula thinnings from like those clumps over to the ends of the beds here where I had radishes. I didn't have good high expectations because they wilted really, really badly, but they've perked up a bit, and maybe I'll get some calendula out of them. Yeah, another one of those big zinnias, green beans. See, look at these ones, are a lot healthier looking than the other green beans, but it's all good. Sunflowers doing really well already. More of these wonderful marigolds, parsley. Yeah, here we'll head over to the greenhouse. These are those feed baked potatoes, all on the outside of the fence here. Doing really well, flowering. So, yeah. In the greenhouse, gave everything a haircut in here today. Speaking of marigolds, like, I wish I should have taken a before shot, because these marigolds, again, didn't mark them. Not sure if they were ones that I started or if they were ones that I bought or what, but I shit you not, these were like 3 times the size that they are now. They were huge, 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 huge. I didn't think that I planted big marigolds in here, but yeah, they like the heat, I guess. Same with basil. Been giving that haircuts and eating lots of that. These are my indeterminate tomatoes. That's a beefsteak. Or all of them except for this one. I think this is a determinate tomato. I could be lying though. It's a mystery tomato. I thought it was one of the ones I started, an early Annie or something like that, but anyways, got some nice fruit on these ones. Doing really well. Yeah, look, they're crazy. Look at the size of the leaves on them. I pruned them all back when I planted them to get them to bush out, and yeah, did they ever. Wow. Some more fruit down there on that one. Lots of blossoms. And these guys, I gave them a little bit of a haircut. Cherry tomatoes I don't usually touch, but I did see if you can see, clean them up all down around the base there, just to keep the plants nice and healthy. This is a flat of, this is the leftovers that I was going to give to a friend, but it's into July now. It's way too late to put tomatoes in. But yeah, some more. This is a different kind. These are those Red Robin dwarf cherry tomatoes, and then those ones are the Acadian cherry tomatoes. And yeah, oh right, last but certainly not least, these are my melons. That's my watermelon, my cantaloupe. They're taking off. Maybe I will get some fruit out of them. I have some blossoms on my cantaloupe. I might get some cantaloupes. I still doubt that I'll get a watermelon. But like I said before, it's just an experiment, and it'll be a good lesson on what I should and shouldn't do next year if I want to try and grow them again. Oh yeah, right. And my these are a couple of slicing cucumbers. I put some little stakes in there, but I need to get some string hung up for them to start climbing, because they're doing really well. Also, my corn's doing really well. Man, I need to weed this. I haven't weeded my corn bed yet either, but they don't seem to care so far. Doing really well, despite all the rain and lack of sun and heat. But yeah, corn's doing well. These little potatoes out here are doing really well. As always, if you like the video, please be sure to go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you're having a great day.